we'll go through solving quadratic equations that look like this. So to solve a learning test to solve quadratic trinomials, success criteria to solve quadratics, and then number 2 is to factorize quadratic equations, and then to use null factor law to solve the equation. So there's 2 steps in solving this type of quadratic equation. First step is to factorize the quadratic equation. Step 2 is then to use null factor law to solve for values of x. So go through this example. First thing, we're going to factorize this quadratic over here. So to do that, what are the factors of 8? So you usually find factors of the number at the end. So let's say factors of 8. You can have 8 times 1, 4 times 2, and then that's it. So then you have the factors now. We want the pair to add up to the middle number, which is 6. In this question, it's 6. So we want to add up to this number in the middle. So 8 and 1 won't ever make 6, but 4 and 2 can. So if we do plus 4 plus 2, you're going to get 6. So the factorized form would just be x plus 4, x plus 2. Okay, so your equation now is x plus 4, x plus 2 is equal to 0. Alright, step 2, use null factor law. So to use null factor law, one of your factorized factors will be equal to 0. So it's either x plus 4 makes 0, or x plus 2 makes 0. So you move the plus 4 to the other side, it becomes a negative 4. So it becomes x equals to negative 4. You have a plus 2, move it to the other side, you get a minus 2. And then these are your solutions. So your answers either x is equal to negative 4 or x is equal to negative 2. Another example, step 1, factorize. So same thing, find the factors of 10. So how do we get 10? You can do 10 times 1 or 5 times 2. Which ones add up to minus 3? So 10 and 1 would never make minus 3. 5 and 2 can make the number 3. So do you add or minus them? So to get minus 3, you start with minus 5. And then if you add 2, you end up getting minus 3. Write your factorized form. So it will be x minus 5, x plus 2. So make sure to just take it and then put it into the brackets. Make sure you keep the sign in front as well. And then your equation changes to equal to 0. Step 2, null factor law. So either x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. Move the numbers to the other side. X is equal to 5 or x is equal to -2. It's just the opposite. Then we have one last example. This time you don't have it in standard form. So make sure you remember standard form. It's x squared plus 3x plus bx plus c equal to 0. So you want your quadratic on the left, and then it's equal to 0. So let's move this around. Put the 3x. If there's no sign in front, it's a plus. Opposite of a plus is a minus. So just do minus 3x on that side. Same with the 40. Trying to move this over. Then it becomes minus 40 equals to 0. Now we're in standard form. So then we do our step 1. Factorize our quadratic. First step, factors of 40. So what times what makes 40? 40 times 1, 20 times 2, 4 times 10, you get 5 times 8 as well. And then one of these will make -3 in the middle. This won't ever make -3, so we can just cross this one out. We're not going to use it. 20 and 2, adding or subtracting won't end up as small as -3. 4 and 10 won't make smallest to -3. So we can use 5 and 8. So with a negative, so the negative means the bigger number will be negative. -8 plus 5, you end up with -3. Write out your factorized form. So it becomes x minus 8, x plus 5 equals to 0. Last bit is to use null factor law. Same as before, one of them will be equal to 0. So then you get x minus 8 is equal to 0, or x plus 5 is equal to 0. Move your numbers to the other side. X is equal to 8, or x is equal to -5. That will be your answer.